Greetings everyone, and thank you for tuning into another fantastic episode of SwampFox Magfed. I hope you guys are having a positive and productive day, and you are ready to dive into another review. Today we've got something special for you. We are going to be reviewing the continuous feed mags for the Dam and MG100 from 3D printed paintball parts. So we've got both the 25 as well as the 15, and we're going to be jumping into both of these today to give you a little bit more of a what to expect when purchasing this product. If you have shot an MG100 or a Dam, own one or both, you guys understand how the community has been waiting for something to replace this for a long time. Unfortunately, didn't jump on it to replace it. Planet Eclipse is getting close. For the time being, the people who don't want to wait are looking for 3D printed options to fill the solution. And so I was the same way. I didn't want to wait any longer, and I was just looking for something that was going to give me a little bit more capacity in terms of my magazines. In addition to just having something that's shot continuously, by having magazines like this that hold 25 as opposed to 20, 4 of these equals 5 of these. So in terms of loadout, it does help as well to lighten your overall weight in terms of magazines. So I started doing a lot of looking, and at the time, the ones that were producing the most consistently were the 3D printed paintball parts. And so, like a lot of you guys, I had questions. I mean, you look at ordering these online, they're coming from another country, and it's and the shipping is super expensive as well. I think it was like 60 bucks. And so without knowing what to expect or having anyone who I knew that had made the purchases, I was a little skeptical. But prior to doing this review, I went ahead and contacted 3D printed paintball parts and told them I wanted to do a review on their product, and they were absolutely fantastic. There is a little bit of a language barrier, especially with it being down south, but just please be patient with them, and they have a fantastic translator, and it just takes them a little bit to get back to you. But send them a message, with any questions, and they are on top of their game as far as answering any and all questions you may have. Real quick, I want to break down my relationship with 3D printed paintball parts. I did not receive these magazines for free, but I received them at a discount in return for doing the video. So I still paid costs to get these magazines. That way they're not out on any product, but at the same time I was able to buy a couple different magazines in order to do a little bit more of an extensive review. So I thank 3D printed paintball parts for your partnership with me to bring you guys this video. And without further ado, let's dive back in. Well, I guess in terms of communication, these guys are really great. I know, like I said, you're looking at sending someone money out of country, and it can be a little sketchy, but they were super on top of their questions. I think it ended up, when I placed the order, they let me know that there was one other person ahead of me in the queue, and that they would let me know as soon as my order went into production. And they did. They tracked everything, and they let me know when my order was ready to ship. And they also sent me a photograph when the order did ship as well. And so in terms of communication, that was absolutely fantastic. It did take, I want to say, about 2 weeks. 2 weeks to get them printed, packaged, and I want to say probably another 7 to 10 days to get it shipped. So expect about a 3-week lead time with these. You may get them done a little bit quicker, but in my experience, I got it about 3 weeks. And I've been using them since. I think I ended up getting these towards the end of August. And so I've had a few games in between that had both round ball and first strike, and these things have been fantastic. When I initially got them, I did see a little bit of fraying on a few of them, but I went ahead and took a sander to them, and it seemed to fix it right up. I'm also going to be doing a video on doing some stippling for these. If you notice on the longer one here, you get the 3D printed logo here on the bottom on both sides. There's also, I don't know if you're able to see that, but they also have some nice texturing some very, very mild texturing on either side of the magazine. Now, what I'm planning on doing is the texturing itself, I mean, it's great, but it's just not as aggressive enough for myself, and so I'm going to go in and hand stipple these sections just to make it a little bit more aggressive to where I can grip it a little bit better with my gloves on. But these are the 25 round magazine, and I found too that for round ball, they absolutely fit 25 for first strike. I found that it's going to probably do like 23, maybe 24, but which is still great. But I've just found that in terms of first strike, it didn't quite hit that 25 round capacity. Now, this one here is the 15 round magazine. I only got 2 of these, but I wanted to get a couple just so I can do a review on both. And if you'll notice, as far as the height goes, obviously this one's going to be surprisingly shorter, and the design is a little bit different. You get more of a rib texture on the front side of the magazine here, which makes it great for grabbing the mag, especially if you're using an MG100 with the mag release near the thumb. Having the texture on the front makes it really cool to grab it and release out the magazine pretty effortlessly. You also get the 3D printed Paintball Parts logo here and here, as well as along the bottom. And then it also has some subtle indicators that it allows both first strike and round ball. This does not have the texture spots like the larger magazine does, but it still has some cool unique features. I'm probably going to go in and texture out the back here, so that way I like the texture on the front, but I'll texture the back just so it gives me a place to put my thumb where I know, I've got a good positive grip on the magazine. This one as well is advertised to have a 15 round capacity. Round ball, absolutely. Again, with the first strike, I found it's like 13 or 14. Not quite 15, but it's still, it's still a good amount of rounds. Another thing I will notice in terms of coupling with the dye magazines, the lines match up, even though on these two, they're a little different for your couplers. You can still match up that top one and have the coupler work well. I've found with the 3D printed mags that these are so different that even if you are to match up the top, they're still going to sit a little bit differently on the magazine, which I thought was interesting. Even with, let me kind of match these up for you, even there, you can kind of see that they don't fit perfectly together, so something else to kind of consider when you're coupling these. I sometimes, if I have some oddball mags, I'll couple 2, but with these you'll definitely want to couple the same ones together, whether you're using the 15s or the 25s or the 15s if you do plan on coupling the magazines. Their size with comparable dye magazines. Looking at them here, the 3D printed paintball magazines are a little bit longer, as you can tell, but not much. And truthfully, I would think that these are actually a little bit lighter also in comparison to the stock ones. The same go with the shorter guys. Matching up the ends here, you can tell that this is just a little bit longer, and you're getting almost the full capacity that you would get here without any flip. They do come with the followers in them as well. So if you're shooting them with an MG100, you're going to be good on the followers. Note that if you are getting these for a die dam, I believe they have a follower choice on their site, so that way make sure you get the right ones, because they are a little bit different whether you're shooting an MG100 or a die dam. So one of the things to be mindful of. So for the 15 round magazines, these were $22, and then these were a little bit more depending on color. I want to say that these were, I paid, so these were like close to 28 bucks a piece. So a little bit of a price difference between the two, but not too much. Now, one of the things I will recommend that you see on their site is how expensive shipping is. Unfortunately, they only offer its international shipping. So when you see that $60 price tag for the shipping, that is the price that the shipping costs. It's just a flat rate. There's no accelerated shipping. It's just a $60 flat rate. I ended up paying for that myself in order to get these magazines, but moving forward, what I would probably recommend you doing if you are wanting to order these magazines and cut down on the shipping a little bit, I would probably recommend splitting it between 2 or 3 guys. You know, especially now as popular as the MG100 magazine or MG100s are, finding people who are wanting to get continuous feed magazines wouldn't be as hard. So I would recommend, if you've got a couple buddies that are wanting to get these, go in on your order together. That way you guys can split shipping, make it a little bit more reasonable, and then buy your magazines in bulk. But that would be my advice for the shipping. Now, myself, I just wanted to get them, and so I ended up just biting the bullet and paying for the shipping myself. But if I were moving forward, especially right now, I think there's 2 guys that I normally play with that have MG100s, and we would go in and just split the order, you know, split shipping up between the 3 of us to make it a little bit more reasonable. But other than that, as far as the ordering side goes, expect 3 weeks. Communication is really, really good with this company. Just be a little patient in terms of their translation. Like I said, they are a company out of Mexico, and so you write them a response in English, and usually what I've found is they've got to do a little translation and then write back. So if they don't respond back right away, please be patient, because he does a really good job at staying on top of emails and getting right back to you. But overall, I mean, these have been absolutely fantastic. Like I said, I've been able to play with these for the last 2 months, and I've played both round ball and first strike games, and they have worked really, really well. It works really well for my loadout too, especially during summer when it was still a little hot. What I ended up doing was, instead of having to carry 4 to 5 of these, I could carry 3 of these at 25 rounds apiece and be good and have a nice summer loadout for the heat. So I'm looking forward to kind of beating these up a little bit more, giving them more of a test, but so far so good. The design itself, you can see, you can break these down very easy. They've got Allen wrenches. Let me see. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 on one side, and then, yep, just the 5. And so that way you undo these, open the top up, and that way the spring and everything comes out super easy to clean. I haven't taken these apart yet personally, just because since I've got them, I've just kind of been running them, just to make sure that they're not going to break on me. But they've been shot, they've been hit, and they've been doing surprisingly well for something that is 3D printed. Now, like I said, continuous feed magazines are going to be coming out either end of this year, beginning of next year. I was one of those people that, 1, likes to just buy new products. 2, I wanted a little bit more capacity and I didn't want to wait. I've got a AK kit from Magfed Maker, and so these work really well too. If you're looking to do something look specific and you're wanting more of an AK build, these banana clip magazines look really good and they feel very authentic. And so if you're looking at something just for a build specific reason, these curved mags work out really well. Like I said, my big goal with these was just, 1, I wanted a little bit more capacity, and these really fit the bill. I think they do offer a few colors as well. So I think they have a green, black, possibly a tan. But what you'll do is, and the site itself is super easy to use. So if you just go to, I'm going to leave a link down in the description. 3D printed paintball parts is where you want to go if you are looking for continuous feed mags. Like I said, expect probably, I would say, 3 weeks to a month, depending on how many orders they have, and how long or where you fall in the queue. But definitely get on that order. And like I said, my big plan with these is I wanted to get some continuous feed mags and beat the Planet Rush. Especially right now with COVID going on, things are getting delayed, releases are getting pushed back, and so this was a way that I could get a nice continuous feed mag now, support a local smaller business in the community, and just get something super cool. Super cool. Oh, Also, if you have any questions about these magazines, leave them down in the comments below. I would be more than happy to answer any and all questions that you may have. I'm also going to leave a link in the description for his Facebook as well as his site on where you can order these. I talked to this gentleman via Facebook, but I had to place the order through his site. And so questions, I would say the quickest way to get in touch with this gentleman is through Facebook, which I'll leave link down below. And then when you go to order, you will order from his site itself. It's super, super easy to use. And he really breaks it down, so there shouldn't be any questions on what needs to be done. So, guys, thank you for watching. Thank you again for continuing to support the channel. We have hit over 100 subscribers, which is absolutely fantastic. I thank you guys so much. And now we are on the quest for 200. I'm also going to be releasing some footage soon, if not already, for our MagFed meetup in October, which was a blast. We're going to be diving into that a little bit more. If you have an opportunity to do a MagFed meetup in your area, I absolutely suggest it because it's a great opportunity to shoot first strikes, to meet up with people in the community, and just to expand your paintball family a little bit. So, again, guys, thank you so much for their support. I hope you guys are having a positive and productive day. And remember, like, comment, subscribe. It all helps. And if there is some other things that you would like to see reviewed, leave them down in the comments below. Thank you guys again, and we will see you on the field.